Something unique here, a Banksy buck. Wow, look at this. That's pretty cool, right? Banksy, have you heard of him? No, he's more like an artist. I understand that this is art. Rick Harrison has been through a lot of terrible losses and constant battles in his life. Most people don't know the dark side of porn star's success. He had seizures as a child and was very sad when his sister died when he was young. Rick's life was not easy at all. He went through another terrible tragedy when he lost a child, but he later found hope in becoming a father. Let's follow the story of a man who made a lot of money but couldn't get away from his grief. Stay tuned for the next twist that will change everything. Loss, work, and good luck. Rick was born in March 1965 and grew up in a home that had its ups and downs. He was the third of 4 children, but he had a hard start in life. Harrison's bigger sister Sherry died when he was still a child. For someone so young, that kind of loss is hard to deal with. After that, though, life didn't really give him a break. By the time he was 8 years old, the future businessman starts getting seizures. He spent a lot of time in bed because of those episodes, so he read to relax. He kept doing that, and soon he knew a lot about everything, from history to physics. But even though he knew everything, he still kept one secret from his past that would change everything in the end. The aspiring businessman liked reading too. He had a good sense of business by the time he was a teenager. It might sound risky to quit high school in the 10th grade, but the driven teen had a good reason. Around 1981, his family's real estate business failed, so he had to work hard. He began selling fake luxury bags and was said to be making $2,000 to $3,000 a week. That's pretty good for a teen, right? The young father-to-be was thrown another surprise just when he thought he had his life under control. He and his girlfriend Kim found out they were going to have a baby when they were 17. They were getting ready to have kids, but then they were hit with sadness when the pregnancy ended in a miscarriage. Even though it hurt, they stayed together and had their first child, Corey, in 1985. The business owner would make Corey an important part of his life and work, as many people know. Things didn't get better for the family. His second child with Kim was Adam. But things didn't work out between them, and in 1985 they broke up. It wasn't long before the future reality star was seeing someone else, this time Tracy. They brought up Corey and Adam together, and Tracy became an important part of their lives. During this time, the history buff got even more into both history and business by helping his father, Richard Harrison, open a coin shop in Las Vegas. It turned out that the coin shop was more than just a family business. Something big began. His unique style came from the way he told stories and his deep understanding of history. People did more than just buy and sell things. With every deal, they learned something about history. It wasn't enough to pay the bills to raise a family and run a business. As a result, the smart businessman got a side job taking back cars. It wasn't fancy, but it made sure there was food for everyone. He and his dad thought it was time to grow after working hard for a few years. The shop was moved to a bigger spot on Fremont Street, but it didn't stay there for long. They had to move again because they lost their lease. They didn't give up after that glitch. Instead, it pushed them to finally open a pawn shop, which had been their dream for a long time. It wasn't easy to get a pawn license, though. That's because of an old law that limited the amount of licenses based on population. They had to wait until there were 250,000 people living in Las Vegas before they could apply. The Gold and Silver Swap Shop opened in 1989 after finally getting permission. It was important for the shop to find a niche in the beginning. The first things they bought were sports souvenirs and one-of-a-kind historical items, but they quickly learned that selling jewelry was where the real money was. Business was going great by the middle of the 2000s. They were lending millions of dollars every year and getting a lot of interest in return. Even though things were going well, the smart businessman knew they could do even better. Head over to the History Channel. In 2008, Brent Montgomery and Colby Gaines were looking for a new reality show to make. They found the thriving shop by accident and thought it had promise. The Harrisons had been in a PBS program before, so they were used to being on camera. Before long, Pawn Stars was on the radio, and it became a huge hit very quickly. People really liked how the show had a mix of history, business, and family drama. The show was one of the most popular on the History Channel by 2011. Making it big brought more than just fame. It made money and opened up doors. Even better, the reality star wrote a book called License to Pawn that was a huge hit. But just when everything was going well, life threw another wrench in the works. He and Tracy split up that same year. He didn't stay single for long, so he started dating Deanna Burdett. After a few years together, they got married. The family got 3 stepdaughters when Deanna got married, making it even bigger. Happiness didn't last long. When his father Richard died after a fight in 2018, it was one of the hardest times of his life. Who have Parkinson's disease. On the show, people like to call Richard the old man. Richard was more than just a dad. He helped me and worked with me in business. It hurt a lot to lose him, but the strong business owner had to keep going. He ran the pawn shop himself and saw it through some tough times, like the COVID-19 pandemic. Businesses were hit hard by the pandemic, and the busy shop was no different. There was less tourism, and fewer people came into the store on foot. Even though there were problems, the reality show star did what he could to keep things going. To help customers who were having a hard time, he even lowered interest rates and extended loan terms. Still, it wasn't enough to stop losses. The company had only made a small amount of money by the end of 2020. At the same time that the shop owner was trying to get back on his feet financially, he got into a legal fight with his mother, Joanne. After his father died, she said he was bad at running the family business, and that he had gotten her to give up her share in the pawn shop when she was weak. It looked like a bad family situation in the case, where Joanne asked for money damages and a court order to stop her son from hurting her, made to remember the World's Fair that took place in Chicago in 1934. In the past, all the cool new things were shown off at the World's Fair. The businessman who was being blamed denied the claims and said that outside forces were at work. In early 2024, his son Adam died of a drug overdose, adding to the stress of the going-on court case. Fans and friends were shocked by the sad news and sent their respects. The sad father wrote a touching post on social media about how much he loved and missed his late son. The determined businessman hasn't given up, even though his personal and work life is in chaos. He has kept going and has even tried his hand at politics. There have been rumors that he wants to run for office in Nevada. He was also recently made a Kentucky colonel, which is a very honorable title in the state of. No matter what, the reality star stays strong and eager to carry on his family's traditions while he deals with the ups and downs of life. But behind the scenes, one person on the team was quietly working on something bigger. Lots of sweet deals and candy dreams. Pawn Stars is all about making a lot of cash by selling strange and unique items. People have been watching for years because of the strange people who work on it and how they deal with each other. But guess what? Chum Lee is the richest person in the group, even though everyone thinks he's a bit of a jerk. The friendly star, whose real name is Austin Lee Russell, and who was born in Henderson, Nevada in early September 1982, is more than just the funny guy on TV. From being a kid who liked to collect weird things to a reality TV star with good business sense, his life has been full of interesting events. It's likely that this performer learned how to deal with people by growing up in Las Vegas, where hustle is just part of everyday life. His mum worked in a restaurant and his dad was a DJ. These are two jobs that scream Las Vegas like a bright sign. The TV star learned how to trade and bargain when she was very young. People didn't become rich overnight. He worked on it for a long time before the lights came on. He grew up with Corey Harrison, who is the son of Rick Harrison, the big boss of the pawn shop. It was there that they would become famous one day. Rick and his dad, Richard, who everyone called the old man, opened that shop in 1989. It became their hangout,